Hello, and welcome to Mockduck Plays Games, where today we're going to tear down a classic controller. I'm going to break a classic controller. You'll see me do it, and we'll also take a look at some footage I've got afterwards of what's left of the thing. And so it's a fun time. I was hoping to fix this thing, but I didn't. And you'll see it happen anyway. Either way, I think it's valuable information for some folks. If you ever want to take apart your own controller, you can learn from my mistakes. You can see what this looks like on the inside. I'll be taking this board off in just a second, and you can see what it is that's actually making it spin. This one I picked up in December of 2020 with my initial backer unit, and in the months since I got it, it developed a weird little sound, which you can probably hear on the mic here. See that little sound? And now this compares to one that I picked up earlier this year with the walnut all-in. See how it's quite a bit quieter? And also the twist functionality, while it totally works, like this controller works just fine, it doesn't feel the same as the other classics. It doesn't quite feel as good. I have a suspicion that either there's a little bit of cracked plastic in here, or perhaps a ribbon cable is snagged or something like that. So I'm going to take this apart to see what's going on. All right, so the first thing we need to do is get the foot off this and get the screws out. So I understand that this is basically a sticky pad, so I have a little not very sharp edged knife here that I'm going to use to try to carefully pry off the plastic. Basic small screws there. I remember seeing a video from Atari where they said that you could re-stick it if you needed to. I'm a little suspicious on that. But, oh look at how terribly this thing came off. Oh, well, that's probably my fault. That's fine, I could always just glue it. Measuring thing here, and it looks like these screws are 9 millimeters. Those open up from here. This is to replace the battery. That's actually kind of nice for long-term storage, or if you ever need to replace the battery, you can. I realized when I made the video and was looking back at the recordings that I didn't quite point out where the 4 screws are. So it's here, up here, and then there's one here, and one over here. These 2 screws actually hold in a bit of the case that I'll show you a little bit later. Before I get to the inside of the controller and you can see where I got stuck, let me just quick show the board on its own here. The wires connect to the haptic feedback motor. On the other side, you can see a section where the LEDs broadcast and where the stick mechanical buttons are. They are different screws than the ones on the outside of the case. Let me put that. Versus, this is the one for the outer case. This does actually come out. I'm nervous about doing it, but yeah, I'm actually just going to leave this in because I'm too nervous to take it out. But got a couple more screws here. Another 4 screws. we go. Okay, this will pop off. That was nice and risky. All right, done. It looks like there is a metal little crossbar there. So I'm going to see if I can show this to you here. When you look at this, it looks like there is a space to put a full rod that would actually go into a notch on the side here. And the piece that is put in is too small for that. Where I broke the unit is when I pulled out the ribbon cable right here. I don't know if I can get that on camera. Right there. I couldn't get a piece off to get the ribbon cable off, and I accidentally tore the ribbon out. I don't know if I can fix that. I'm not very techy, to be honest. Alright, now let's take a look at what the inside looks like here. So here, on this side, is the Fuji button. Orange button with the mechanical pad, the two buttons on the bottom, and then here is where the lights shine through. I'll be pulling that out in just a second. You can kind of see there's a weird piece there. But I'm holding this in place because this ultimately seems to be some kind of rigging for the stick. And I cannot get this stick out at all, unfortunately. The other side here, right? I showed you this earlier. It's a little sensor right there. And the cap comes off. And the cap itself has a little magnet piece on it. And it looks like when this sits in, this pops in to the base here pretty tightly. And I suspect that that is what's moving. Some kind of either metal or magnet is moving on that sensor to determine clockwise and counterclockwise, and thus send the message through the stick for the analog twist control. And then it uses regular kind of D-pad style mechanical buttons for the D-pad. Alright, so what did I learn from this ordeal? Well, I guess I would say for the most part I learned, don't try to take apart your classic controller. It is pretty difficult to do. You can do it. I broke mine. Maybe it's fixable, maybe it's not. I'm just going to take a break from it for now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix it, but we'll see what ends up happening there. I definitely didn't make any progress, but I did learn some things about how the classic controller works and what not to do, I guess, going forward. And I do have two spares of the classic controller, so it's not like I don't have one now, but I do have one less. Still don't know exactly what the problem was with it. Nothing seemed to miss when I took it apart. There was no broken plastic or anything like that, but I know what I did today, which is I broke it. Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. Give me a like if you want to spread the word about these videos. Subscribe if you want to get these videos in your feed. Much appreciated. Have a good day.